Hello. Look, there's, I don't really need that eraser. Hi, it's Sandy from Doux Designs. And today we are going to work on a baby card. We're going to work on a, I have a baby shower when I get back from Craft Roulette. So I figured today would be a great time to put together a baby card. So I'm super excited about it. I want to show you guys a couple of things that I have here that we're going to work with. Hi, Diana. And I want to explain, just going to cut this up because there's something else on the paper that's irrelevant to what we're working on right now. But hey Meg, so I have some digital files that are panda bears, and there's 3 different pandas in the set. But when you get it uncolored like this, like plain. So you can choose to color it black or not, or you can use this one and then color it from there. So you can make it as little coloring as you want. So you could just do the bows, or you could do a whole lot. But then the second part of that is that you can make it different sizes. So I have this larger one. Hey Beth, I have a medium one and I have a little one. And we're going to use a couple of them today. So I thought maybe I would do, I think I want to do a baby one and a big one. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I might want the little, I don't know. Anyway, so I was thinking we would use the ones that are already colored black. So we wouldn't have to do the black. Isn't that great? Such a shortcut. I just love it. I couldn't decide if I wanted to or not. But now that I know what papers I've chosen, I think it'll be great to use this one. Although I need to check this size might be too big for my card flap. So let me check here. Beth won. You guys are so funny. Okay. So we have this size right here. And this bear is too big for this size. And I want to use this little bear, but I think this bear is perfect. So we are going to use the 2 that are uncolored. So we're going to color them. I'm not going to use the ones that have the black on it because I don't have that one in medium. I only have these 2, and I want to use both of these. So I'm going to have to cut them out. We could do that now, or we could do that later. And since we're waiting for a few more people to jump on, let's go ahead and cut this out real quick. So I want to use 2 on here. My niece is having a girl, so I definitely want it to have pink on it. So we're going to color the bow, of course, in pink, and this is the card base that I chose, the base color. But I also chose like some little some paper from a baby girl paper pack, and it has a lot of yellow and like a seafoam green in it. And so we're going to use those colors as well. It also has orange, but we did orange last Thursday, so I didn't want to do orange again just yet. Just because, you know, why not touch on some other colors? So we're going to do that. And I was thinking that I would probably color the bears differently. I wouldn't make them both exactly the same, although you could. You're free to do them however you want. Hi, Rebecca. But I thought, yeah, it would be really neat. We'll do the accent colors differently on each one so that we'll get a little different view of each one. But I do really like the black of the pandas, although we could actually use darker colors and not use black And then we could just see how that turns out. They could just be little bears instead of panda bears. They could be just little bears. Although they do have panda eyes. I mean, how cute is that? I love it when their little panda eyes are black. So we do have, there is that. So here is like the areas that you would color the black part. So when I drew it, I just filled in the black and then took the filler out, so you guys would have the option of either way. So one of it gets you there with a little less work than the other. Unfortunately, I didn't print the medium size one because I changed my card at the last minute. I was gonna do just a regular card, but I thought, why not do a different shaped cards for you guys? Maybe Lisa Frank Color Inspire, right? Like that's what I was thinking, like different colors instead of the typical black and white. Since we can't use the black and white ones, we might as well, you know, color it up in all kinds of colors. But this little one won't take very long at all to color because it's teeny tiny. I mean, not teeny tiny, but it's pretty little compared to the other one. So I meant to get this done before the live so you guys wouldn't have to watch me color it, but I figured we had plenty to talk about. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and come on and we'll do that. So I've been packing most of the day. I packed last night all the crafty stuff and then clothes and such today. And we're going to leave tonight because my brother lives a little more than halfway to Kansas City, so I can stop and see him as well. So, yay, that's going to be super fun. I am excited. Okay, so the card that we're making is going to be not your traditional card. That is for sure. So, it's just going to be like a trifold card. And I think I have the measurements so I can give those to you as well. So if you decide you want to make your own, I did find this particular trifold on YouTube a long time ago, so I'm not really sure I can tell you who did it, but you know, it is what it is. So I've already cut the papers, but we'll have to do a little bit more. But let's work on the pandas first. This is the Doodlebug Bundle of Joy paper pad that I used. You have family in Southwest Kansas. Oh, they're in Joplin. They're in Joplin. So we're going to use the papers from this. And then the two colors that I chose are going to be these two colors. We're going to play them together because the pattern papers kind of look like these as well. So they all kind of go together and match up really nice. So we want to keep those in mind when we do these. And then we're also going to do our stencil here that we have. We're going to use Congrats, and we'll probably use Love on the inside. So we have a couple of things to do today. So let's get rolling on our pandas. And by the way, the other pandas look like, so this is the one that we're doing. This is the other one that's in there. It looks like this. And then there's a last one that looks like this. So cute. So they are in digital form. Online though, I had them a long time ago at another company in stamp form. So I didn't want to redo this stamp form. So you may already have it. You could color this with me if you wanted to. I'm going to keep two pieces of this paper handy right here so we can match up the colors. So we have like an orange, a dark pink, a light pink. We have green and gray. So gray is good. That will help. Cute panda options. I love them, and they really do look cute not colored like a panda, especially one of them in particular looks really good. This little guy right here, he looks really good colored as just a teddy bear. So think for this one, since we have a lot of the seafoam and we have a lot of the hot pink because it's the paper, that we want to go a little bit lighter on the colors. It's so hard for me, just saying. I am not a pastel person, so I'm not real great at the pastel colors, but we're going to give it a go. So I know at some point I want to use some yellow, and this one seems to match that yellow kind of perfectly. And then we'll just get a little bit lighter. So this is Y15, Y13, and Y11. And so maybe we'll use that for like the bows or something like that. I think I want to use a gray color because there's just a tad bit of gray and I think it'll look good on these pandas. So I think I'm going to go with staying with the cool grays. So I think I'm going to go C3, 1, and 0, 0. So it's going to stay really, really light. And then I think we're going to go with, let's see, what color pink do we want? I think I want to say maybe these, the R85, 83, and 81. Let's look at that. So that's R85. And this is R83. And this is R81. And those might be really good. I think they're going to match the pink background really well. But let me grab the paper and test it. Yep, perfect. Okay, so I like that really light color. And then we need a deeper color to go with it. Or an even lighter, one or the other. So let's see what happens if we use an RV, like an RV04. Ooh, nope, too hot to try there. Maybe we could use RV14. That's kind of off on the pink, not in the pink I want to use. So let's see. We have R22. See how they're not even close to that pink? Hi, Renska. So I don't really want to stick around with that kind of pink. I really like the R. So let's try RV34. I think it kind of falls, there we go. That falls along the same lines. And RV34 does the same thing. So I think those will be, I think all of these will be really good together. So we're gonna go with that. Okay, here we go. I really don't know how I'm gonna color it, but I have colored these pandas before, so pretty sure we can do this. I don't craft very well with jewelry on, which is probably why you always see me without it, but so I'm taking it all off. Okay, let's start with the colors that are darker. So maybe we want to throw in a little bit of this R85, but I have 89. I really think that's too dark. But if we need a darker one, we can use that. So let's start with this one. And I'm going to start with my grays because it's going to be really, really light. So C3 first. Great example to color splotch everything before you color. Yes, I normally do unless I just have a good feeling about the color and then I might just roll with it. But for the most part, I generally do that. Now, I'm going to do the opposite. So normally you find pink inside the ears, but since she's going to be pink, we're going to put gray in the ears. So this is going to be all kinds of different than what you normally see. I think the little nose is going to be gray. And I'm trying to decide, do I want the belly to be gray? Yeah, I think I do. So we're going to make the belly gray. I think we're going to make the face and everything in the pink color, not the gray color. So not black. No black on this one. So I like that. I really want it to have the panda eyes, so we're going to do the panda eyes in gray. So I'm just going to put a little bit around the outside of these panda eyes. You can just choose wherever you want, because I mean, this isn't really about putting it in a scene. It's really about what we just want to color it. We can do whatever we want. It's our stuff. C1. And the good thing about digital images is you can print as many as you want all at one time and then play around with them and decide what you want to do. Tonight we're just winging it. If I don't like it, I'll make another one later. You never know. You never know what you're going to think until it's done. You know, you just got to jump in. And since most of my stuff is packed already, like my traditional stuff I use when crafting, all my desk fun toys, they're all packed up. So, and I'm dying to show you this thing Dale made for me today. I can't even, you guys. He is so crafty. He was like, "Are you going to take your bling?" And I said, "No, because it doesn't have lid. And it'll spill all over the place." But he made one. So now I can take it with me. And I'm so excited. So I'm going to test it out and see how well it works. Make sure nothing spills in the travel process. And then if it does, then I'll know it's not working and we would never sell something that doesn't work. But if it works out really great and nothing spills out of the container while I travel, then yeah, then it'll be coming soon. So we're going to test it out. I also have some other really good news for you guys today. Where's Cheryl? She's usually here. It's probably too early for her. So I got the approval today to be a retailer for Barely Art Glue. So that will be coming in the shop very soon. So I just got notification today and I was so happy. Yes, exactly, Rebecca. I mean, I'm telling you, it is. I'm so excited, and I'll probably end up showing it to you because I'm gonna have to pull it out because you know I gotta put bling on all my projects. I can't help myself. So I'm probably gonna have to pull it out anyway, so you'll probably see it here in just a little bit. You know, I can't help myself. I need to go back to my C3 and put the inside the mouth, not the tongue, but the back part of the mouth needs to have this gray color on it. Thank you. I'm so happy. The lady, she remembered me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I was like, "Great." RV34. So with the dark colors, I don't want to save yellow for the bows, but I want the bear to basically be the same colors. So I have R85, 83, 81 set for that. So with the 34, I want to do the little feet. Thanks, Beth. I was so happy today when I heard back from them. I was like, oh, everybody's going to be so excited. They have a few other things that they sell that I was going to look into if you guys have any interest, but they sell some alcohol inks. I was going to check them out. Of course, you know how I do. I have to get them first, test them out, make sure, you know, that I really like them, and then I'll let you know. But that could be a potential as well. I didn't know that they had them, so I'm kind of excited about that as well. Oh, and by the way, hey, Aladalis, I just mailed you something the other day. Oh, you did say hi to me earlier, Cheryl. Yay, I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, I was, there we go, RV32. Yeah, I know you are. I just didn't know if you saw the notification of changing the time, but we got to get rolling as quick as we can. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I am very excited about this trip. I mean, so excited. The new release is confirmed, shipped today. We will be releasing the new release on August 1st, so be ready for that sneak peek video coming soon. There will be new items in almost all the categories on the website, so lots of new things. It won't always be like that, but you know, we're trying to build up the shop, so for now, there'll usually be more than just a stamp set and paper or stamp set and stencil or what. I mean, there'll be other 3D items and things like that coming along the way. And maybe multiple stencils and such, just to make sure that we, you know, we keep up with everything. You're so excited? I am too. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I want one more color, so I'm going to try RV 52 and 63 to see if either one of those go well with this combo I have right here. Now that one's not so bad. That one's not either, but I think let's go ahead and try RV 52 first, just to do the inside of these little feet. It'll kind of bring in that pink color a little bit more versus the little mauve type. And it also makes a little tiny heart inside his foot, so I kind of like that. I'm excited about that. So, and then we got to do these little toes here. So much new stuff happening. It's exciting. It's very exciting. So I'm just building out that little heart so you can see it on both feet instead of just one. But how cute is that? Goodness gracious. That was RV 52 added to the 34 and 32. And now we're going to do the full bear. And I only chose 3 colors, so if we decide we want a 4th, we'll pull that same RV 52 in so it mixes with the little feet. But she's going to be all pink. So, I hope this looks good when we get done. I have never colored her not a panda with black. So, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'll like it a lot and I'll want to color bears in every color. You never know. So I'm kind of doing the underside where the shadow area would be. So definitely around this little bow. And then up on the shoulder because the head's over the shoulder. And where the arm is folded. And then along this bottom side because it's laying on his leg. Her leg. And then I like to do just a little bit from here as well because there's a little bit of a fold there. Feed on all the crafty energy. I can't wait. I think it's going to be really good. And you guys, Dale's going to be practicing coloring while we're gone. So I'll make color pencil coloring. So I am so proud of him. So now we're going around the body right here where the leg is, and then along the bottom side of the foot, and then just up just a little ways right here. And we're going to do the same thing on this other side. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. All my markers are clean and filled, so they're all ready to go. So luckily this time I don't have to take all my refills because you know how that happens. Sometimes I have to. You colored a groundhog blue and I'm in love because he looks like Sonic. I even draw the red shoes on him. Aww, that's awesome. Yeah, you know, I color stuff whatever color. You know, when you color things so many times, you know, you gotta start doing something different. You don't want to color everything the same every single time. So you tend to start making up the little stories that go along with why your animals look so much different than what people are used to seeing. I used to color where I felt like it just had to be that color because that's what it is, you know, and I might do that the first time, but then after that, yeah, I go rogue. I can't help myself. And I do like to alter, like by coloring, alter what an image looks like. You know, so one time I did a girl and I made her a plum fairy, and one time I made a boy a toy soldier, even though it was not that type of stamp. I just like to think outside the box. And sometimes I think I'm not real good at it, but when I see other people's stuff, but then sometimes I get a wild hair and it's a really unique one and it turns out nice. So I feel like this is all kind of fold fur right here. So we're just doing the whole around the outside with this color. And then we're going to do around the bow and the center part of the ear. Just because we want that to be sunken in a little bit. I think before, when I colored everything the way it was supposed to be colored, you know, whatever color it was supposed to be, I think I felt like once I started like accomplishing that and I could color it that way, then I started thinking, well, I mean, everybody else will probably be trying to do that too, so I should try to do something else. And that's where all the change up came in. I think for the tongue, I want that to be a much brighter pink, so I'm going to wait on that one. Wait on the tongue. This is hard for me to do these lighter colors without putting in that R89, but we're going to do it anyway. This is R83. Has anybody ever colored Panda not the color it's supposed to be? Like this? Or do all kinds of people do it and I'm the one out in the dark and didn't know? It's really neat when you draw it because then you see other people color it and then you have even more ideas because everybody comes up with some really cool ideas. I actually saw some very crafty ideas at a friend of mine's craft room the other day. So I know we all got it in us. Just because it's not the same as somebody else's doesn't mean it's not awesome. And they also have a swap table at the Paperganza, so who knows, maybe I'll find some new stuff to bring back with me because I'm taking a bunch to put in there, so you're raising your hand, yay! That doesn't surprise me really, that you're the one that said you would. I could see that. Just because you're so unique and outside the box, it seems like to me. I mean, I haven't met you really in person, but from what I see that you craft online, I can see you have a lot of uniqueness to you. Your way of thinking is that if it's not the normal color, then there's no right way to do it, which means there's that is so true. There's no wrong way. That is so true. You are very correct on that. That does make things a little bit easier, doesn't it? Because then no one can say, oh, that's not colored right, because you made it up yourself. And you can play with so many colors. Yeah, neon colors. It's kind of like the fluorescent ones. You like the fluorescent ones? I've done bears with the fluorescent ones, not panda bears, but regular bears, like gummy bears. That was super fun. And I like those fluorescent colors. I like to use them too. In fact, I have used I can tell I use them because my refills are half empty. So, like, I guess I use them a lot more than I thought. So we're going to make these eyes, even though they're not going to be black and sunken in, they are going to be a little bit darker. So I'm filling in around them and softening that deepest color I put in there. You know who else does some really cool stuff is Meg. Like when I did that night gnome class, she did some really cool stuff to her night that was really neat. That's why I think you should watch lots of people's stuff, because everybody does great stuff. Oh, you're welcome. I had a coffee die set and I turned it into hamburger and fries and a milkshake card. See, I knew it. Yeah, Meg, I know, right? Yeah, she's got some cool stuff in her brain. I'm getting ready for my craft roulette. She needs to kiss her brain, because her brain is cool. So are you guys going to watch craft roulette on Friday? You know, we're going to be there. I don't know if they're going to show who's there or how they're going to do that, but we're doing it live from the event. So who knows? Maybe you'll see me. There we go. All right. I'm liking this bear. Oh, you're welcome, Meg. It's the truth. It's easy to say stuff like that when it's true. It's super easy. Maybe we'll make that bear a different color. This bear is so cute. So now I'm using R81 just to smooth out those colors. I mean, I didn't make her a fuzzy bear. I just made her more of a smooth bear. A fuzzy bear takes longer and probably need a few more colors to show all those intense lines. But for now, I think I'm just going to roll with her like this. You'll be live after, like every Friday. Oh, you mean like on, So do you do your card for that craft roulette session live, or are you just have a regular live on Friday nights after that? Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. Usually Friday night is my date night with Dale, so usually we go out and do something. It's hard for me to catch, so I usually catch replays. Like replays of the craft roulette and stuff. And I'm a supporter of craft roulette, so I don't have to submit mine till Thursday. I kind of feel like this blended. Yes, I do my craft roulette card right after they are done. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Maybe I'm going to have to join you when I'm at home on Friday. Okay, I was trying to soften this up a little bit. In person, it kind of looks like it's all one color, but I can tell on the camera that for you guys, it looks like it's not blended well. So I added just a little bit more. It looks darker than the rest, but I don't think that it will when it dries. I think it's because it's wet right now. So we are just going to blend this out and then see what happens, because you just never know. And now we don't have to give her pink cheeks because her whole body is pink. She's all pink. I like her though. She's cute. Yeah, you like her too? I like her too. I'm really happy. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know, but we'll try it. and I'm pleasantly happy. I think it's going to look really good on this card, but I really want to do the other one in a different color. Maybe we'll reverse the yellow and the pink or something like that. I don't know. We got to do her other one different though, because I don't want to overpower the pink. Too bad I can't make them purple. Girls can do purple and boys. There we go. And we have a little foot done. And I kind of like that it's a little bit lighter around the inside. So I'm going to do that again on this side. It's just that I didn't spend a whole lot of time blending that together because I wanted to leave it a little bit lighter. And I kind of like that. So we'll probably do that on this side as well. So cute. I think we need to do a couple of things to really make this stand out. And that is, we need to go back in with our RV34, which is what we did, the darker purple stuff. And I think we need to deepen these little feet so they stand out just a little bit more from the bear than the body. You know, I want you to be able to notice the difference between the colors. So we're just gonna put one more coat over this. And if you didn't know, if you layer Copics and you allow them to dry in between, then they become one shade darker than they were when they dried the first time. So keep that in mind. If you're coloring and you don't have a marker that you need, you can always make the color with the lighter marker. Just go over it a second time after it dries, and that darkens the color, which is why it's easier to color something small than it is to color something very large, because when you color things really large, you got to keep that paper wet, or you have different levels of color on your image, and then you catch yourself going over and over and over, and you can't seem to get it smooth. And so it takes a little bit more practice and effort to get it done when it's a bigger image. So smaller is better, even though I know small is hard to color. Your husband just brought you your favorite wildflower. Aww, I think your husband is really nice. I've never met him in person, but you guys play games, and I think y'all are really cool. Hey, Mom. Time zone mess you up? Mom's traveling too. Not with me. I wish she was going to craft roulette with me, but she's not. I did see today that there's one available ticket if anybody wants to jump on a plane in the next day or so. You could come on out there. I decided to deepen up a few of these colors too. We're not going to go over the whole thing a second time, but I do want to put a few little areas. I want to deepen them up just a little bit so we have a little better variation between the colors. We did need to blend those in order to get those colors to look good, but now we're just going back with a little bit more accent on these. I think that helps a lot. And I think I want to do around the eyes again, but I'm not going to do it with the darkest color. I'm going to do it with the second color, which is the R83, because I want to deepen that up, but I don't want it to be like too bold. So I'm just going to go around it, and then we'll go around it with the lightest color as well. Oh, I just went inside the eye. I hate when that happens. But that's okay. That's what our colorless blender's for, and it will help us fix that. And then I'm just gonna go a little bit further on these darkest areas just to soften up those edges. And we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Just kind of making those fold areas that would have more shadow, have more shadow. Same thing with this one, only I'm gonna do this one out like little bear, like the little bear ears, because I want to keep it kind of dark right around the ears. So I'm not gonna do a whole lot to that one, but I do want it to look a little bit different. What color eyes? You know, it's funny, while I was talking, I was thinking about that because we are gonna have to choose that. And I was thinking maybe we would do them like in that really light seafoam green kind of color, since that's the color that that's on the card. Let's see if this will blend out or if we need to go a little bit further, because I think that's gonna give me a little bit of a hard time right there. So I think what I'm going to do is take the C00 and just kind of go over this just a tad to kind of, it'll lighten it up and it will blend it together, so we won't have to worry about like all those lines that you can see right now. But we're just going to put this over that area and then let it dry and see how it does when we let it dry. And since I put it up there, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit down here too, so it all matches nice and pretty. There we go. All right, we're gonna let it dry. It's still wet. Seafoam green. Yep, that's what I think. So I don't know. This is the seafoam green marker, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the color I want to use. But oh yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. I think I'm going to try this one with it and see if it's, yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, so seafoam green is G12, but I kind of like, when I do mostly seafoam-ish colors, I like to use, or mint, I like to use YG45 and 41. So we're going to stick this one in between, and we're going to use those three for the eyes. And it's such a small area, it doesn't need a lot of detail. So I'm just going to put the darkest part right around the black part of the eye. Just really close to the inside of that eye. Now, does anybody know why I haven't worked on this pink I got inside the eye yet? See if you guys know the answer to that. You love these bears? Me too. They're so fun. I remember when I drew them. It's crazy, but sometimes I can even remember like what was going on, where I was, or what I was watching on TV when I was drawing them. I can do that with a lot of the images I drew. This is the YG41. It's going to go around the outside edge. And then I'm going to go back in and deepen that dark color one more time. And I think this is going to be perfect. So I want the YG45 again. Yeah, I like that. And I'm just going to leave it like that because I think having the two colors in there is really good. Okay, so that's, I like that answer, Rebecca, but I'm going to tell you why you should wait. So the colorless blender is an ink pusher. It's not a blender. It says blender, but blending is not what it's meant for. What it's meant for is to push the ink. So when you go like this, you'll see all the ink is going to move away from the colorless blender, right? It's also going to suck it back in. So if you were to put something right up close, like here, and you put too much, or the ink is wet, as it dries, it's going to suck that ink right out of the lines. So you can push it, but you'll notice some of it comes back. So you have to do it again and again in order to get it to be completely clear. So, and that's why you watch my lives. So I waited till it dried because I didn't want to put more into the eye than what was already in there by mistake. So now that it's dry, I'm going to touch it just lightly and not even up to the line. Like, I'm going to stay a little bit away from the line because that will push the ink that way. And I'm only going to do it a little bit and then I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to wait for it to dry again. And then you can go back and repeat. But if you keep going while it's wet, it's going to start pulling it out of the area that you're trying to push it back into. So you have to be real careful when you use it, especially if you use it on really dark colors like red. I mean, red is hard to move anyway, but if you do it too much, you'll start pulling a whole lot of more red out there and you'll regret it right after you do it. You love that tip of letting it dry first. It looks like my little panda's head is a little bit darker than the rest of him. So we're gonna have to fix that because I'm not okay with that. So we need to add just a little bit more of this R83 and then the 81 because I need the whole bear to be the right color. If you know what I mean. So I'm just adding a little bit more of this in here and then we'll soften it up with the R81. So we'll soften it and blend it nicely together and that should bring it right to the same color as the face. I just don't want it to be like too far off. You know what I mean? Like nothing's worse than the head not being the same color as the body. We can't be having that. That's unacceptable. I mean, unless you wanted like a weird, you know, that weird technique to be what, unless you wanted that to happen. All right, next we're going to use our Ys, our yellows. You missed the beginning. Who makes this stamp? Me. I drew them. They're digital images now. They were, you might want to check your stock if you really like them. You may own them in stamps. But if not, they're now in digital form. And at the beginning, I showed that I made them, when I made them in digital form, I gave you both this type of Panda version and this type. So I either colored the black for you already and made it go faster for those that don't like to color. And then those that do like to color can color it themselves. So you'll get you'll get 3 pandas. You get them right and left. You get them with the white fill so you can layer them up. And you get them black filled on the panda areas. So you have options. I pulled out the Y18. It's a little bit darker. I feel like for some of these little scrunched up areas, we're going to need a little bit darker. That way we won't have to go over it a second time. So these little areas right here, where the material is folded a lot to make the bow, it needs to have a deeper color. Yeah, so these are digital images. And the digital images I kind of went nuts with so that you would be able to get bigger options and more stuff if you went for the digital, or if you already have the stamp but you were like, ooh, I want to be able to make that a different size, or what if the black was already colored for me so I didn't have to worry about that. So I tried to think a little outside of the box on that as well. But I'm kind of having fun playing around with these images now that I've made them digital. I can make them whatever size I want, so that makes me happy, and I have lots of fun. You'll look. Yeah, I did a bunch of past images that way. Not all of them. So if there's one you want that's missing, that means it might be coming back as a stamp or later as a digital. I haven't decided. Means I couldn't decide. Okay, so this is the original darkest color that I chose. So you see why I wanted that little bit of that deep in there. So I added one more level up. I like the pop of something, like I like it to really pop. And you gotta use those dark colors to get that really awesome pop. So that is why I don't do pastel very often. I think it's gorgeous when people can do it, but I just keep getting darker because I just want that pop, you know. And I just want, I can't help myself. I really can't. I try, but I just really can't. Okay. That was Y13. I have Y11 is the last color. I think I may have missed 15 on, nope, I got them. All right, this is Y11, and this is my lightest color. So I'm just gonna lightly go over the areas that are still white, not with a heavy hand, with a very light touch, because I just want to cover the white, but I don't want to mess up my deep lines I have in there. So just adding a bit of that, just like that. That is cute. I really like it, but I didn't do her tongue yet. And I want the nose to be darker. It's kind of driving me crazy that it's not. So I'm pulling the C6 out so I can add just a little bit more to the nose. I don't want it to be black, but I do want it to be darker. So, and I'm going to do the inside of the mouth right here a little bit darker as well. And I think that kind of makes her face stand out a little bit better. So new to the digital world, but I think it's such a space saver. Yes, it is for sure. I mean, I have a ton. I have an external drive that I use for my digital images, but I really like how easy they are to layer. I used RV52, and I'm going to use RV32 just a little in the back on that one. But I have like an external drive, and I just attach it to my computer and go from there. And I have thousands. I mean, I had more because I used to use digital a lot before I started buying stamps. But my computer died and I lost it all, which was very disappointing. So I had to go back and replenish. So some companies were no longer in business. So I kind of missed out on that. So it was really sad. So now I use an external drive. So I leave them on my computer and I use an external drive. So I added just a tad bit more of that C1. And I'm going to blend it out with the C00 just because I just wanted to add a little bit more to it. All right, so now she is finished, but we will definitely do her eyes so you guys know how I do that. We're going to color in her eyes with and I'll do one so you can really see why I do it. So I'll color in the eyes with a Copic multi-liner. Luckily, I have two of these, so one is still on my desk. The other one is packed. But if you can tell, just look at the depth that you get on that one if you just add. Losing data is the worst. You love the pink panda? Me too. I really do. We're going to lay it on the papers and see if we should do the other one in pink or different. But that's why I go over the black for the eyes only, because I really want them to stand out above everything else. And no matter how dark your ink is or how dark the ink is you stamped with, it just looks, I mean, sometimes the VersaFine Claire does dark enough. But other than that, I always go over the eyes. Okay, I have this one now. So let's see if we want to do, okay, so these are our colors of paper. So this one is probably going to sit on top of these. So that is super cute. And then this one is probably going to sit on top of this. So maybe we want to make this one, let's do this one the opposite colors. We'll make the bows pink and the bear yellow. Here we go. Now we're going to try, and we haven't added the white gel pen, but we will. So here's our pink one. Now we're going to make this one yellow. So we're going to use the other colors are going to be the same, like this C3. So we're going to do the inside of the eyes in here, and I'm going to do it just at the top and just at the bottom. I did it kind of randomly on the other one, but I'm trying it a little different this time. And then, of course, I'm just going to put a little in there on the nose, but we're definitely going to use the other color for that. Same with inside the mouth. We're going to use that C6 because I liked it better when I did that. So we're kind of doing the same thing, and since you are watching, you probably know what I'm doing already, so we can chat while we're doing this. And this one will go faster because it's littler. But how great is it that you can do them bigger or smaller? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had a stamp and I was like, oh, that's not going to fit in the spot I want on the card. And then there's nothing you can do about it because it just, you know, so I start looking for a different stamp. But in digital, you can make it that color that you want. So I love that part about digital. And you can layer them up. I like to mask mine and make a scene and then print it out and color it. I love doing that with ATC cards. You can make them the size of an ATC and then design the whole image and then print it out, and then all you gotta do is color it. You don't have to worry about all the stamping and making it into the card and stuff. And I love that. And smaller, so cute. Could you imagine, I thought I almost did a line of these bears, like really small, that would go like across the card like that. And you can layer them up because I gave you the white fill digital, which if you don't know what that means is it's a PNG image, a PNG, not PNG. It's a PNG image, so it's see-through. But if you don't white fill the inside of the bear, then you can see the lines through it when you try to layer them on top of each other. So when you buy any of the digital ones at our shop, I have given you what I call a white fill, which means I filled them all with white so that you can layer them on top of each other and you can't see the lines of the other one underneath. If you're really nifty and you already have digital images and they didn't give you a white fill, you can create that yourself. You just have to know a little bit more about the process. And you could just send me a message if you need help. But yeah, you want to fill that with white so that you can layer them on top of each other without seeing it underneath. And JPEG has a big white square around it, so that definitely messes up you trying to link them together. The ability to make it any size is an amazing feature because you use the images for scrapbook pages. Yes, it's even better. If it's for scrapbook pages, it's even better as digital. Okay, we're gonna need just a slightly darker color for inside the little bottoms of these feet. So remember I grabbed Y18. Now I'm gonna add YR23 because I think that's gonna be darker than the Y18, but we'll test it real quick just to make sure it's dark enough. So this is the YR23 and this is the Y18. See how it's just a little bit darker? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's really cool. And I learned that how I needed to do that and what I needed to do by playing with digital images, because it would be so frustrating with that white, and then I'd be trying to erase around it with the little eraser tool, and then I'd mess it up and have to start over, and it was a little bit frustrating until I figured out how to just white fill it. And then I was like, oh, I'm doing that for all my peeps, because they will love it. They will love it. All right, now I'm going to use the white 18. This is going to be a yellow bear. I'm kind of excited. I don't know if it's going to look as good as the pink one, but probably. It'll still probably look really cute. And this is going to, if this one looks good in yellow, it's going to convince me I could do these in any color. And I won't be shy in the future. But nothing makes me want to make a whole line of these bears more than coloring them. When I start coloring them, I want to make a whole line of them. In all different colors, kind of like gummy bears with bows. Okay, I'm going to grab the lightest color and fill this in so we can still leave that little tiny heart that's in the center that we could see on the other one. So kind of trying to keep with that same type of idea. There we go. This bear is going to be so cute. I'm still going to use the Y18 for my dark area around the panda. I'm just going to use it a little bit more sparingly. This is so we don't have to do 2 coats of the dark color. So I'm just going to put it in a few little places. Not quite as much as I did the first time, just because I want to not have to do it twice. I'm sure you guys don't want to have to do it twice when you do it either, so you get it. I know you get me. So this card is for my sister's daughter who's having a baby on my son's wedding day. There you go, rainbow bear banner. Yes. Yes, yes. And Grateful Dead bears. Oh, you could do some real fun stuff with that, let me just tell you. All right, so now this is the Y15, the original color I wanted to start with the bears, so it will get a little bit more like the other color did when we did the pink. And we're going to keep these little lines with this little bit of fur look in the ears, even though we're not doing the rest of the bear like that. And I have colored it like that before with a lot of fur, and you can, but for this purpose, it wasn't about it being a bear that was all furry. It's a baby card, so it doesn't have to have a whole lot of that type of detail on it. At least not to me, anyway. So I'm going to go around the eyes and hope this doesn't mess it up. Like, I kind of feel like that was didn't really work out quite as well as I wanted with the pink one. So I'm hoping the yellow one will do a little better, but we'll see. Now extending down this arm. There we go. This one's a little faster. It's smaller, so it's easier. It's funny because when I first started coloring, I was trying to learn how to color really large images because I thought, oh, it'll be easier, it's bigger, it's easier to see. But I struggled a lot, and then when I did them smaller, I was like, oh, this is a lot easier. even though it's small areas, it's still easier because the ink stays wet. But then I tried to go back to big. No. Yes, I am, Mom. You're right. I am. I figured it'd be better if I made the card now so it's ready when I get back and I won't be rushing around trying to make a card. So I thought it would be easier to do it now. But then I went back to large images, and since I knew I had to keep the paper wet, I learned a lot about it, and then it was easier because I knew what I was doing a little better. But look at us go. This is the Y13, so there's only one more color. So I'm making sure all the around the outside and all the lines are blending well. So we do want this to blend pretty good. There we go. One more color, and this is going to brighten it up a little bit more. It's so much lighter here in person than what you're seeing on camera, or what I can see on camera on my big screen TV that I'm watching myself on as a color. It's the only way I can see you guys' comments. I just have to look up, and it makes it a lot easier to answer and follow what's going on. Oh yeah, these eyes did a lot better. Although I did go inside, so I am going to have to work on those lines again, just like I did with the other one, but that's okay. We'll wait for it to dry and we'll be fine. It worked really good on the pink one. I didn't even have to go back in and mess with it anymore. Less is better when you're trying to move the color. Less colorless blender is better. Less until it dries, and then try again, try again. Sometimes I have to go back 3 or 4 times to try again, try again, try again, until I get it, you know, all out of where I want it. So it looks like it might be just a teeny bit right there still on there that you can see, but the rest of it kind of worked. So we'll just touch it one more time now that it's dry. And we should be all good on that one. All right, now we have our yellow bear. I don't know, I kind of like this bear in yellow too. And we're going to do the eyes the same, but this bear is much tinier. So I'm just going to use 2 colors. I'm just going to use this dark color and then the light, the Seafoam G12. So YG 45 and G12. Only 2 colors because it's even little smaller than the other one, and I don't want to go outside the lines. So I am going to come back in with the darkest color and just add that in again, because that layer of seeing that light and dark, really, I like that look. I'm going to grab my C6 right now and do the nose and inside the mouth. The little tongue's going to look better on this one because the bear is not pink. You'll be able to see the tongue better. RV52 was the one I did, the little tongue in pink. Look at how cute. All right, now we're going to do the pink colors and I'm going to mix up the ones that I used before. So I'm going to use RV34 first as my darkest color on the bows. So I'm going to put it in those deep dark areas just like I did on the other one. And then I don't know why I do this other than it just shows the shape of the bow, but I like to also put a little bit of a fold right here. I don't know why I don't draw that in. Maybe because it just looks funny when you first do it, but it gives you kind of an option to do it or not, whatever you want to do. There we go. And I do that back one, the dark color, because it's behind. And then I'm going to do the underside of the centerpiece. And then that little fold right there. Then I'm going to switch to the R85. I'm going to do like around the outside with this one because it's pretty close to that other color. So I'm just kind of doing the outside areas to get them filled in. And then I'll come in with the lighter colors. There we go. So R83 is next, and then we'll do R81 on the last little bit. So I'm going to start coming in a little bit more on that same fold I built in there. And then we're going to leave that little space for the lightest color. Same with the centerpiece, a little dot on the center left uncolored that we'll use R81 for. And then this one is, I like to go around and then leave just a little bit right there for the last color. So soften those edges and then come from the center. And then we'll just color that last one with R81. You like it? It's yeah, and it's not a regular card, so it's a different fold. And I will give you the dimensions on it when I do it here in a minute, in case you want to try to do it too. I found it on like YouTube or whatever, and it was so long ago. I made it like a long time ago that I can't remember who it was, but I didn't make it up. Just being honest. All right, so unfortunately my white gel pen is packed. Let me see if I probably have an older white gel pen, but no promises it'll work. Okay, so this is the one I used to use as a jelly roll. So I'm gonna do the eyes on this one right here. Of course, I have to do a lot more with this pen because it doesn't work as well as the other one. Then this little circle on the nose to give you that little, and then I like to put them on the top of these bows. Can't see it as well on the yellow, but you'll be able to see it on the pink. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit like right there on the little foot. Kind of bring that out. So there's my little bear. And then this one, we have two steps. We're going to do the white gel pen and we're going to do the multi-liner on the eyes just to make sure that they are dark enough. So just deepening those eyes. And you do not want to do your white gel pen right after you do this step right here. You got to let that black dry, because if you don't, your white gel pen will turn gray. You don't want that, I promise. So we're going to use this, but we're not going to use it in the eyes yet. This pen doesn't work as good as my other one. It's working a little bit, but it's very frustrating. Now I know I really love that white gel pen. You know, we always keep one on hand just in case, but did you find a friend to go with you? I'm taking Dale. He's not going to attend the event necessarily, but he's going to be in the hotel room practicing coloring and stuff and relaxing and whatever he wants to do. Be lazy, go around and sightsee. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's coming with me so I don't have to be by myself. And yes, we are going to see Tony and Vicky and them and the boys while we're up there. Because Tony's having surgery in Kansas City. I have to go, but I'm ordering your sprinkles. Going to win cribbage tonight. Yay! Okay, time for the card. And it won't take us too long. It's a super fast because I've already cut all the pieces. So you won't have to do that much. But honestly, the process is really fast on this card anyway. So let me back out just a little bit. Okay, so this piece right here is the size of an A2 card. So this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. This is 1/4 of an inch smaller. There's no front, there's no opening. It's just one panel. And then this panel goes on top, but not yet. And then you cut yourself 2 smaller panels. So here we go. So the 4 1/4 by 5.5 is this card base. 4 by 5 1/4. It says white, but I use this color. But as long as it's light enough, because that's where you'll write. And then these two are these measurements. 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. That's this one. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's this one. And then on the longest side, you score at 1/2 inch on both of them. And then you take a 6 by 6 paper, and I cut it up different ways, but it tells you how to cut it easily. And then that's it. That's all the measurements you need. And then you just take these two that you've scored, and you're going to fold on the score lines. And then you'll take this one and fold on the score line. And you can add your pattern papers right now if you want, but I'm just going to show you how it goes. So you'll adhere either the larger one on the top or the bottom, whichever way you want to do it. It's up to you. But you'll adhere it now before you adhere both of these. Before you put this one down so you won't see it. So you hide the folds. But I want us to decorate these before we stick them on there. So I wanted to put the sweet baby girl and the dots on there. So I'm going to put the sweet baby girl first, and then we're going to decide, oh, I packed my glue. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? I think I know where it is, though, so let me see if I can grab that real quick. I packed my glue, honey. There it is. Yep, I found it. In my little pink and main bag here. Hold on. I knew I was going to run into something I didn't have. Okay, here we go. Silly me. Silly me. It is hard to make a card when you already packed everything. I packed last night. Okay, so this one says, Sweet Baby Girl. I'm going to go right here. I packed my pop too. You guys, I feel lost without it. Okay. Now, if you wanted, you could put one on the inside. I think maybe we'll put this polka dot on the inside. So it'll be a different when you open it up instead of putting it on top. And remember, this is Doodlebug paper pad. So we could always grab more out if we needed it. But I think this will do it. So we got polka dots on the inside. So it doesn't matter which way I put this one. It could be right side up or upside down or who knows. You know, you forget how attached you are to your tools until they're not there anymore. And then you're like, what? Okay, so this one, I'm going to actually put, see all these little baby girl things on this side because I want to put the congrats on it. So we should put that on before. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to actually use one of my sticky pads that I have like this that'll hold my paper still so it doesn't float around while I'm coloring on there. So I'm going to stick it right here. This is a sticky mat from the Dollar Tree. And I think I'm going to put the congrats on there. Congrats, congrats, congrats. I think I want to put it on there 3 times. So we should start in the center. And this mat will help me line it up perfectly too, since it has grid lines on it. So I'm happy about that. So I'm centering it in the middle of this cube. Honey, can you grab me a, you know what? I think I'll just use black. Oh, I packed the black. I'm telling you, I packed everything that I needed. I think I have this little distress cube ink I could use that's been in my drawer. You guys, this is hard to do when your stuff is packed. We could just do it in black and white. That way it'll really show up on there. Hopefully this is wet and not all dried out. It's going to be kind of gray, which works out good with our bears. So if I don't do it too dark, it'll be perfect. Now, I could do the border if I wanted, but in this case, I just want to use the words. So if you wanted to put a border around it, let's see which one it is. You could put a border around it. But you would do this one first, then this one. But I really just want to put the words on here 3 times. Because I think it'll just be cute that way. This is going to be great. This card's going to be done and I'm going to be oh so happy. One more. See? It lines up perfectly. So I did it kind of on this line. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one down here just to keep it lined up. Got to come down just a little bit. I think about right there. I'm eyeballing it, you guys. I'm not perfect. It's all right. We'll fill it in with bling if it's not lined up right. All right. Oh, ta-da! I love it. It worked out perfectly. That was fabuloso. We do have one more word that we need to do before we start gluing all this stuff together, because once you glue it on there, it becomes much more difficult. This one is going to go on the front where it says congrats, congrats, congrats. I'm about to see a sneak peek of my bling cover because I'm about to take that out and use it. See, that's what happens. You make me all these cool crafty things and then everybody gets to see them because I'm using them. Okay, so just around the outside until that has a chance to dry. I am going to flip it over and put this one on there. So same one, same thing, polka dots on the inside. have to use my fingers because my soda press is in there. Okay. And then I want to put, so this one's going to go here and this one's going to go here. And I want to put the love on this one. Dale, grab me a pink, would you? So I can do this word love. So I want to put this love on the inside of the card. But I want to do it with the different colors. So I have the mask. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to pick it up, you guys. Seriously. I just want to make sure I don't color in that area while I'm using the black. I just want to do the L. And the VE. Oh, I moved it out of the way. Gotta make sure I don't mess it up. There we go. I should have stuck it down, but you know, it's okay. It did its job because I did get black on the heart. I did not get black on the rest of it. Okay, I have one of these in pink as well. So I'm going to use this picked raspberry for the heart in the center. And I think I'll be okay on just doing the heart and not getting it because I can always go over the black if I need to. There we go. Oh, look at that. So cool. All right. Now off my sticky mat. That's all I needed those for. That was pretty easy. Okay, let's put this little sucker together. It's pretty easy, and then we'll add our bears. So our glue for the bottom one goes on the top side, so you fold it over like that. So we're gonna put it on here. And you can use Barely Art glue because it's strong enough, it will hold. And we're gonna place it on here. And I'm going to turn this around, not that I needed to turn that paper upside down because it's the same on the top and the bottom. So I don't know why I did that. But I'm making sure it stays lined up here on the bottom and lined up here on the side. And then I can flip it open. Normally I'd be using my soda press for that, but okay, same with this one. This is the top. I'm gonna fold it over and then put my glue on here. This is gonna hide these flaps so you can't see them, which I think is really important when you're doing something like this. You wanna hide them if you can. Some people would put them behind the back, but I think it's better if you can hide them underneath. So making sure this stays lined up and this stays lined up. Then I'm going to use this to press it down. Now that I know I have it on there really well, I'm going to add this one to cover up those flaps. Ooh, wiggly little guy. We're going to place that right in the center here. You know, if I had my soda press, I'd flip it over and rub this, which you can do with your hands, but it's so much easier the other way. See? How cute is this? I want this little bear to be here. So we could actually fold it like this. Or we could fold it like this, and a little ear will be covered temporarily. Or we could put the yellow one on the front. Nope, I like the pink. I like the pink one on the front. I think the yellow one looks better on the inside. So here we go. And this is where our bling will come in handy on this side here in a minute. And I'm going to put it down a little bit a ways so it's towards the bottom of the card, just because the other flap is covering it up. And then inside here is where I wanted to put the cute little, yeah, I think I'm going to put it on this side. The cute little bear on this side. Or we could put it up here. Nope, I want it here. I guess we can just decide. I can do more bears later and add them if I want, but I like these. Cute little yellow bear on this side. Oh, so cute. I'm just gonna get a better fold on this so it lays down. And now I'm going to grab some bling. Perfect. Let's see. Yellow, white. Ooh, maybe the hearts.
I'll show them what I made you.
What?
Point out what I made for you.
I think they saw it. So this is the lid. See how it's beveled in there like that? It fits on top of one. Like this. Ta-da! They stayed in all of their little holes. Isn't that cool? So you can stack them up because they have the same thing on the underside. You can stack them up, and then I just put two of these across them, one here, and that holds it together. And then you can travel with them. It's amazing. Here we go. I think maybe, well, we have pink. Oh, I like the pink. And we have yellow. Oh, I like the yellow. Which one do you guys like? Pink or yellow? Very cool, right, Renska? Were you the one? Somebody had said when I showed these, if you had a lid, is that you? I can't remember who said it. And then here's the other one. I like this one.
Saying pink.
They're saying pink? Okay, we'll go with pink then. Okay, so we have different sizes in our pink. We have small, medium, and large.
Our resin dots.
These are our resin dots that Dale makes in-house.
Glittering.
Huh?
Is that glittering?
This one is clear. This is not glittered. This is that new one you did for me. There's no glitter in this one. It's all solid.
Oh.
Most of the ones in the shop right now all have glitter in them. Again, I said, whenever I craft, you guys get to see. This will be a new one with no glitter. Okay, we're gonna put a couple up here. I think we'll just put 2 up here, and we'll put 3 down here, so we have enough. I mean, so we have a odd number. Woo. I got 2 of them. Woo, slippery little suckers. Yeah, I think those 2. And then let's see, if we open this up, is that gonna look stupid inside there with 2 dots? Probably might want to move them over. I think I'll take the big one off and add another really tiny one instead. See if I can find one. There we go. And I think I'll put them on here instead. I don't know where, but I know where I'm going to put these, so we'll just do these first. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And my favorite tweezers, I already packed those too. Medium. Come on. You know when you try to hurry up and then it just won't do what it's supposed to do? I don't have my press pop here, but you guys get the point. I need more glue on this one. So it'll, I even already packed like my picker tool, so I can't even use that. And maybe if I made these look like they were coming up, we could add a few more if we wanted. I think I'll add a couple more. 5. We could have 7. And a little one. Slippery little suckers. There's a little one. So I want that one to go over a little bit more. There we go. Now it looks like she just has bubbles all over the card. You like? What Sandy wants, we want. Right? I mean, I am very excited about taking that with me. He was like, aren't you going to take your bling? I'm like, no, because it'll spill everywhere. I don't want to mess it up and have to reorganize it. That's not fun. I mean, I like organizing, but not teeny tiny little beads. I like that the Barely Art glue dries clear, so I don't even care if it's not in the right spot. By the time I get home from the show, it'll be all dried up exactly where it needs to be, and you won't be able to see it anyway. What do you think about that? Is that super fun or what? So it's a really neat fold. You can do it with any kind of card that you want to make, and you can put whatever you want all over the card. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. What'd you guys think? Do you think she'll love it? Yay! It's much softer in person than it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks really cute. I like it. And I really like the love on the inside, and you can't see it from the outside, so that's perfect. See? And then if I decide to do like a gift card or something, I can put that in there, but I think I'm probably buying something. But anywho, I hope you guys liked that. It was fun. The pandas are in the shop. They're called pandas, and they come in all in a set of, you only have to buy one set to get them all. This coming soon, August 1st, right?
I don't know about that.
I'll push him for August 1st, you guys.
I mean, it won't. If we do it, if it doesn't get there for August 1st, we're not going to wait for a release to do it.
There we
just add
go.
it to the shop.
Look at that. Just put a ribbon or a bow around it and you're good to go. I'm sticking it in my bag. I hope you guys had fun. I'm so glad that I was able to fit in live. I'm going to upload it to YouTube in a little bit and it'll post sometime this evening. And then I will be back on Tuesday next week, not Thursday this week, Tuesday next week. But watch Craft Roulette. It's live and I'll be there. So you can find it on Craft Roulette YouTube channel on Friday night. It starts at 6:30 Central Time. So come join us. We would love to see you. And you know, who knows, maybe I'll probably do some pictures and maybe even some stuff while I'm there so you guys can see the travel as we go. And thank you so much for joining me. It was super fun. I hope you guys will try this shaped card. Please make sure to share in the group if you do decide to try some of these out. We'd love to see what you do. And we'll be safe and careful, I promise. And I will see you guys on Tuesday next week. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Good night.